Chapter 1. The game begins. The chandelier above me sparkled like 1,000 tiny stars, casting soft light over the sea of silk gowns and tailored suits. The sound of crystal clinking and polite laughter filled the air, masking the undercurrent of tension that always came with these events. It was a game, this world of debutantes and heirs, a game of power, of alliances, and of deals brokered in dark corners. And I hated it. I sipped my champagne, eyes scanning the grand ballroom with the precision of someone who'd grown up in its shadow. My father was somewhere, schmoozing with his business partners, no doubt congratulating himself on how well he'd played his hand. My mother was a few steps away, making subtle yet pointed comments about my posture, my dress, my smile, everything designed to remind me that tonight was not for me. It was for them, for the family, for the future. My future, apparently. I forced a smile, one that didn't quite reach my eyes. Tonight was the night I was expected to make an impression, to charm the right people, and to secure my place as a loyal pawn in my family's empire. I knew what was coming: the arranged marriage, the contract signed in gold ink, the lifetime of playing by their rules. But I had other plans, plans that didn't involve being anyone's pawn. I adjusted the bodice of my deep emerald gown, the silky fabric whispering against my skin. The debutante ball was supposed to be my official entrance into high society, the night I was paraded around like a prized mare, before being handed off to some wealthy, well-bred man. "Bored already?" a low, smooth voice murmured at my ear. I didn't turn, didn't flinch. I'd felt him before I'd heard him, like a shadow creeping across the floor. My pulse quickened, but I kept my expression neutral, my gaze fixed on the dancers twirling in the center of the ballroom. "If you're looking for a dance partner," I replied coolly, "you'll have to get in line." The man at my side let out a quiet chuckle, the sound dark and amused. "I'm not one for dancing. At least, not the kind they're doing." I finally turned to face him, my breath catching in my throat despite myself. He was tall, his frame draped in a perfectly tailored black suit that looked like it had been custom-made to complement the sharp lines of his body. His hair was dark, unruly, like he couldn't be bothered to tame it. But it was his eyes that held me, cold, calculating, like a predator who already knew the outcome of the hunt. And I knew him. Everyone in this room knew him, even if they pretended otherwise. Adrian Blackwood, heir to the Blackwood Empire, one of the wealthiest, most dangerous families in the country. His name carried weight, the kind of weight that crushed anyone foolish enough to stand in his way. I'd seen him before, of course. He would frequent charity galas, business dinners, and other events like this one, but he'd never approached me. Until tonight. "I'm not interested in games," I said, my voice steady despite the way my heart was pounding. "Everyone's interested in games," he said, his gaze raking over me in a way that made my skin tingle. "They just don't always realize they're playing." I raised an eyebrow, meeting his gaze with a defiance I wasn't sure I actually felt. "And which game are you playing tonight, Mr. Blackwood?" His lips curved into a slow, wicked smile. "The same one you are." A shiver ran down my spine, but I held his gaze, refusing to let him see how deeply his presence unnerved me. I'd grown up around men like him, men who thought the world was theirs for the taking, who saw people as pieces on a chessboard. But Adrian was different. He wasn't just playing the game. He was the game. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice quieter now, but no less firm. His eyes darkened, and for a moment I saw something flicker there, something dangerous, something that sent a warning straight to my gut. But then it was gone, replaced by that same detached, arrogant confidence. "Just a kiss," he said, his voice smooth as silk. "A harmless kiss." I blinked, surprised by the audacity of his request. "Excuse me?" "A kiss," he repeated, taking a step closer, his body radiating heat despite the coolness in his eyes. "One kiss, right here, right now. That's all I want." I stared at him, torn between amusement and suspicion. "You think I'll just—" "What? Kiss you because you asked nicely?" He tilted his head as if considering my question. "No." I think you'll kiss me because you're just as curious as I am. I should have said no. I should have turned and walked away. Let him play his little games with someone else. But something about the way he looked at me, the way his words hung in the air like a challenge, made it impossible to resist. Just one kiss. What could it hurt? I took a breath, then nodded. Fine. One kiss. His smile widened, and before I could second-guess my decision, he closed the distance between us, his hand sliding to the small of my back. His touch was warm, firm, but not forceful. And then his lips were on mine, soft at first, then more insistent, more demanding. The room seemed to disappear, the music fading into the background as the heat between us flared, hot and undeniable. I pulled back after a moment, breathless, my heart racing in a way that had nothing to do with the kiss, and everything to do with the man standing in front of me. See, he murmured, his lips brushing against my ear. That wasn't so bad, was it? I shook my head, trying to clear the fog of desire that clouded my thoughts. You got your kiss. Now, if you'll excuse me. Oh, I'm afraid it's not that simple, he interrupted, his voice turning cold. That kiss wasn't just for fun. It was a declaration. My stomach twisted, dread settling in. A declaration of what? That you belong to me now. His gaze hardened, the playful glint gone. And I don't share. Before I could respond, he turned and walked away, leaving me standing there, stunned, as the weight of his words crashed over me. Whatever game I thought I was playing, Adrian Blackwood had just changed the rules.